Tennis superstar Novak Djokovic is officially out of the US Open.
Novak Djokovic has come out and he has announced that he will not be playing the US Open.
Sasha Zverev has withdrawn from this year's US Open.
Serena Williams, she is announcing her retirement from tennis after the US Open, obviously her home tournament.
I think that her legacy is really wide to the point where you can't even describe it in words. I think I'm a product of what she's done. I wouldn't be here without Serena Venus. I'm very thankful to her.
A lot of other players in the field, have the belief I can do that too. I think what we achieve shows that, anything can happen really.
It's time!
First thing I did when I got home from work is I changed to the Rafa hat, the Rafa top.
Emma Raducanu.
And she's just beaten Serena Williams and Azarenka. This is the biggest talking point. Nick Kyrgios on the same section as Daniel Medvedev. Who do you think is going to win the US Open this year? He answered Carlos Alcaraz. I mean, it's still the young guns. Rafa has got a nice draw. Serena Williams, she's drawn. Wow. Danka, Kovinic.
Terrible.
I'm a massive Layla fan.
Garcia is incredible. I put a bet on Garcia to win the US Open.
Pegula, Layla Fernandez. I'm going to go Layla Annie Fernandez. going to win. Rafael Nadal is going to win the US Open this year.
Rafael Nadal comes back from the depths yet again.
We've both gone for the same guy. I've got Linda, you've got Linda.
Nadal has to be considered a favorite.
Rafa for 23. Let's go, Ben. Come on.
Hey, welcome back, tennis fans. Tonight, we are enjoying a matchup between the fourth seed Badosa against the Ukrainian Lesia Tsurenko. Hope that you will be enjoying this coverage with me tonight, as we saw Tsurenko breaking in the first game already. So are we maybe in for a surprise today? We'll see. So Badosa, fourth seed, should be favored for this match. But in terms of, best out of three, anything can happen. Tsurenko currently ranked around, I saw now, in the range of 97th. So she definitely will be the underdog today. But she broke in the first game already, as she's now serving to Badosa. It's a fault second serve. Tsurenko now serving a second serve to the forehand of Badosa, who hits it to the forehand of Tsurenko. Now a backhand of Tsurenko to the forehand of Badosa. Tsurenko now just exchanging backhand safely in the middle of the court. Nobody taking any risk. Now Badosa doing some running with a great forehand down the line. Tsurenko is not able to do anything with that. And the first game, or the first point of this game, goes to Badosa, love 15. Hey G, nice to have you in the chat. And you saying Tsurenko will win in 3 sets. Okay, Ems, nice to see you in the chat as well. Hopefully numbers will climb throughout this match. Currently, we are about 13 people online, but it's nice to have Eugene and Ems in the chat already. And it's 15-all as Tsurenko is able to serve big there to Badosa. Em saying you think Badosa in 2? Yeah, that'll be my prediction as well before this match. Now, we saw Tsurenko breaking in the first game, but maybe it's just a bit of nerves for Badosa. So I will be rooting for Badosa, but let's see how this goes. As Badosa is not able to return that ball either, and it's now 30-15 for Tsurenko. Can she do the same than her Ukrainian counterpart yesterday against Alep? As Tsurenko is serving at 30-15. And we can see there's a lot of wind at the stadium as she serves to the backhand of Badosa. It's a nice deep return there by Badosa. Now Tsurenko with a forehand to the backhand of Badosa, who goes for the slice. Tsurenko is making a move, run a lot. Badosa now with a backhand to the backhand of Tsurenko. And there's a very, very nice backhand there down the line by Tsurenko. And I must say, it's quite aggressive play by her this far. I guess maybe she's going in with the mentality of nothing to lose, really. Now, it's always interesting to see when they suddenly have something to lose, when they are leading the match, how suddenly they are stop being aggressive when they're starting to get nervous, as they suddenly realize, oh, I can actually win this match. As Tsurenko is now serving at 40-15, but it's a fault second serve. Hi, Gary. Nice to have you in the chat. You'll be in and out. You got my like. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, for those of you that are currently in the chat, please consider hitting the like button on this video. If you first want to see like how good is the coverage, actually, you're also welcome to wait before you make that decision. As Tsurenko is hitting a backhand now. And now it's a backhand by Tsurenko to the backhand of Badosa. Tsurenko now with a slice. Badosa stepping in with a backhand cross court. And Badosa hits that for a winner. And it's 40-30. Nice movement there by Badosa. But I must say Tsurenko is really making Badosa move quite a lot throughout this game. Let's see whether she's successful on employing the strategy throughout this match. Hi, Kathy. Nice to have you in the chat as well. So we have some predictions by Gene saying Tsurenko in 3, M saying it's going to be Badosa in 2. Others in the chat tell me what is your prediction for this match? Who is going to win this and what is the scoreline going to be? Or rather, in how many sets do you think your person is going to win this match? Tell me in the chat down below. All right, as we have Tsurenko hitting a backhand to the backhand of Badosa, tries to go wide. Tsurenko now with the slice, the forehand of Badosa, and now Badosa is making Tsurenko move. Ooh, but it's just a little bit too aggressive there by Badosa, trying to go for the forehand winner cross court, but it's just wide, does not touch the line. It's an error by Badosa, which means that Tsurenko holds and she consolidates the break. Hi, Capricorn. Nice to have you in the chat as well. Well, I'm enjoying the coverage by the US Open thus far. We had quite a lot of interesting results yesterday. I was really surprised. Now, the time zone, me being South African, is not the greatest. So I didn't see the Tsitsipas or the Fritz match live. This morning I woke and I checked the score and I couldn't believe it. I was very surprised by those results. So that was interesting. But yeah, it's just a pity that I'm so excited for all these matches as we have a lovely backhand winner down the line by Tsurenko there, love 15. Yeah, so I was quite surprised by the results there yesterday, and it's just a pity that I can't watch all of them because there are a lot of matches that I would like to watch, and unfortunately, as you might expect with the Grand Slam, they would schedule your popcorn matches in the evenings of the US Open, so thereby making it quite a difficult time zone for me to follow the matches live, which is usually the case with the US Open. It's most of the matches of the US Open I'm not able to watch live, but I only see the highlights, and that doesn't really tell you the whole story, does it? As we have Tsurenko trying to go for a big winner again, but she hits it wide. No, but sorry, I got confused now between who was who. I will make sure I get that right now. Gary saying, I have Rybakina in the final and she lost the first set. Okay, that's interesting. I have, you'll be surprised that I have in the final. I really want to hear, oh, Gary, you say, yeah, I saw that you commented this also on one of the YouTube videos of GTL, when on JG's video, where he talked about the upsets of yesterday. I saw you said this as well, where they had a split screen and you saw both of them lose within a minute. I mean, that's really interesting, yeah. So my finals, tell me also in the chat if you are, I know you regulars, you probably also do the TNNS app predictions there. Tell me what are your like crazy predictions that you have over there. I mean, I thought mine was wild. And then I saw JG's and Ben's predictions. I was like, mine is actually quite quite boring then, because I mean the ones that they picked is insane. But I mean it makes it exciting, and also like with the women's it being best of 3, it's more upset prone, so then you can get these odd winners, as we saw with Rybakina at Wimbledon. So my final for the US Open women's is, and I just want to check what's the current scores over there before I embarrass myself. What's going to be embarrassing either way, but let's just see here, because one of them is currently playing. Let's see. Oh, she won! Yes! Okay, so I have in my final Sloane Stevens versus Madison Keys. Laugh if you will, but that's my pick. As we have Badosa going for a backhand cross court to the backhand of Tsurenko. Tsurenko now with the forehand to the forehand of Badosa. Oh, that's a big forehand there by Badosa. It's not a winner, but it was so hard and deep, and Tsurenko wasn't able to do anything with it, ball, and that's a point to Badosa, and it's 40-30. Yeah, Kathy saying anything can happen. And my thoughts were also like, with these competitions where you compete against like 1,000 other people, there's no use in picking your obvious seeds because others are going to do it as well. And then the odds of you winning is quite low. So, and I always feel like with those things, like whether you become 20th or 200th, that's the same, right? So go broke or go big or go home. So I go for these things that I think other people won't choose. And then if I'm right, I'll probably be the only person that picked those picks. So yeah, I'm going for Sloan Stevens versus Madison Keys. Oh, that was a very, very nice forehand there by Tsurenko as we go to deuce. Yes, exactly, Capricorn, the repeat of the 2017 final. And that wasn't on purpose. Like, I just did the draw, and then when I saw it at the end, I'm like, oh my word, that's the repeat of the final, which is interesting. I did say on a stream between Wawrinka and Murray when they played in, was it Cincinnati, I think. I said that I actually gonna say Sloan Stevens is gonna win US Open, but then when I did the predictions and I had a final of Sloan Stevens versus Keys, I'm like, okay, no, I think Keys is gonna take it. Now, here's my rationale also behind Sloan Stevens going so far, despite like not being in form. So she's facing Iga Swiatek, right, in the next round. Now, if she's able to beat Iga, obviously that's going to be very, very difficult, and she's going to be a massive underdog. But if she is able to do that, then it means that for the remainder of the draw, she has the draw of a number one seed, which is then inherently always going to be quite a nice draw. So that's why I think if she's able to go past Iga, not only will it give her confidence, but also her draw thereafter will be quite nice. So that's my thought process behind that. Yeah, I'm saying it will be very interesting to see what Tsurenko does and whether he can continue his run. I know he's playing tonight. Is he playing already? I actually should check. I'll check now. But yeah, if he is, keep me updated on the scores and do that anyway in the chat. It will be nice if you can keep me updated. As Badosa is running in with a failed attempt of a drop shot there by Tsurenko, Badosa is able to get that point and it's advantage to Badosa. So yeah, keep me updated in the chat of the scores on the other courts, as it will be quite difficult to navigate between all the screens. But yeah, it will be interesting to see whether it was just like one good run made in one tournament, or will he be able to use that confidence and perform in the US Open as well. Capricorn saying, I'm okay with your pick, but this time Keys must win. Otherwise, I shall sue. Oh, that's serious. But yeah, okay, I'm surprised you're fun with my picks because it is quite wild. But I guess, I mean, it's not as wild as what Ben had Zeng and JG had. Who did he have? Garcia. Yeah. So, and I think like with the women's, I think everybody is more lenient if you go for wild picks because we've seen that happen so often. Probably because of it being best of three, which is then statistically more upset prone than a best of five. Badosa retired hurt loading, says Anchor. Okay, we'll see about that. What is your reasoning behind that? And talk about hurt loading, retiring. I was quite interesting to see like what's going to happen with Dimitrov today. And on that note, we'll talk about the men's draw now later on. But I was quite interested to see how Dimitrov is going to do, considering that he retired mid-match against Dominic Thiem in the first round of Winston-Salem. So it was interesting to see that today he completely dominated Steve Johnson, meaning that luckily that means that there's no like, well, it wasn't a win. That's the odd thing. We don't know what was wrong against Thiem because he dominated the first set, winning 6-love. And it's like, oh my goodness, his form is insane. And then suddenly he just became like, it looked like he became ill, or he just like, it's like he was dizzy. So it's not like an injury, like a leg or something that's hurt, which is a good thing in the sense that like an injury, it can take a lot of time to heal. So if he's just sick, then hopefully he can feel better by the next day. But it was odd in the sense that we just never got any information on what was wrong with him. Now, there were conspiracy theories like on Twitter, which I won't get into, but it was a relief to see today with his performance against Steve Johnson that it looks like that it's not like an injury or illness that will hopefully linger throughout this tournament, because I do think he can do really well. As Tsurenko will now be serving at 2-1. Gary saying a Stevens Keys final. As we say in America, deja vu all over again. What are the odds on that? It will be epic for sure, especially if Keys turn the tables. I did actually not check that beforehand, which is an interesting question. Like, we know that Keys is seated 20th, so I guess the odds of her making the final is definitely obviously higher than Stevens making the final. But yeah, the odds of them making the final will be interesting to see what the stats were. I'm not sure whether it's possible to see the odds now mid-tournament already. Like I know on my betting site that I usually use, I'm not able to now bet on who's going to win the tournament as the tournament already started. You can only from now on bet per match. But on maybe there are other platforms that you know of where you can check now already actually like what's the odds of Keys winning or Stevens winning. That will be interesting. But yeah, and obviously from an American perspective, that will also be nice to see them performing well, especially after Taylor Fritz having lost early in the first round already. Em's also saying, Gary, I see Keys going really far in this. Yeah, I hope so for the sake of my draw, but also, I mean, for the sake of her, I'm a big fan of her. Beno Joji at Kasatkina. Yeah, that's correct. I'm not sure whether oh, in the final. Yeah, I can't remember clearly now, but I think you might be correct on that one. Gary saying, Ems, I don't see that based on history with the ups and downs, but there's Keys. But Keys can beat anyone on a given day, I guess. Yeah, and go on a streaks at any time. Wouldn't hate that. I'm sure you wouldn't. Capricorn saying, Dimitrov retired against Johnson in Wimbledon round 1, I think. Oh, really? This year? Really? I can't remember that at all. But that's interesting. I'm saying Rune up 2 sets. We must keep his button alive. Rune! I like that button a lot. I was actually the first person to play that button. Interesting fact. And I think it was during the French Open. Rubikina, 4-6 love 2. Yeah, that's gonna hurt if you have her in the final. Capricorn saying, yeah, this year. Okay, so this year at Wimbledon, Dimitrov retired there. So to Tsurenko, just to get back on the tennis we are currently watching, Tsurenko is serving at 30 all. She's stepping in with a big forehand winner. That's gutsy. And now she's leading this game 40-30. For those of you joining me for this coverage tonight, please consider hitting the like button below. It really helps the algorithm out as we see whether Tsurenko can keep her form going throughout this match and maybe cause an upset against Badosa, as she is now serving at 40-30. And she's serving a fault second serve. So then I said, so for the final in the women's, I have Keys versus Stevens. And then with the men's, which is wild, I have, wait for it. Well, first tell me in the chat, what do you have for the men's final? Oh, that's lovely play there by Badosa. She approaches the net, and Tsurenko is not able to perform a passing shot there. And it's deuce. Can Badosa maybe break back here? So tell me in the chat, what are your predictions for the men's final? Gary saying, Renner Stubbs just said on ESPN what I said yesterday. Kasatkina had to play on Monday after grueling final on Saturday, followed by a travel day. It's an excuse, I know, but it's a good one. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's always those funny cases of, on the one side, when you win a warm-up tournament, then it's good in terms of form and confidence, but in terms of fatigue and also, as you said, like travel, jet lag, or even if it's the same time zone, just that travel that does negative things to your focus and also your physical fatigue. What happened to Manarino? Did he already play his first round match? For some reason, I can't remember now. Because he also won the pre-warm-up tournament, and I was wondering also what effect that would have on his play. Okay, so he's playing later tonight. So it'll be interesting to see whether he also has some fatigue that he carries over throughout this tournament. Tsurenko is able to hold there, and that means that it is 3-1 to Tsurenko. Gabriel saying, I like to see Chorik or Carlitos in the final. All right. So, Kathy, you have Sinner and Rafa. Is that possible, though? Isn't Sinner in the same draw as Rafa? I think he is. I think Sinner is in the same draw as Rafa, so I don't think a Sinner-Rafa draw is possible, unless I'm mistaken. Carry has Medvedev Chorik. All right, that's interesting. Predicting that Chorik will continue his good run of form. Okay, there's but Fritz Rafa. Okay, at least Rafa won't lose to Fritz. Okay, so you had the same picks as Gil Gross. Interesting. I don't know whether you know him, like a very, very popular, and I'm a big fan of him, commentator on YouTube on tennis. And he had Fritz versus Rafa in the final. And I believe Ben or JG also had Fritz and Rafa in the final. I can't remember whether it was both of them or only one of them having them in the final. Okay, Bicon saying there as well that Gilgrace had Fritz Nadal too. That's interesting. And we haven't seen a response by him yet after Fritz lost. I guess he's busy with the official tennis channel stuff, but on his YouTube channel, he hasn't really posted anything after yesterday's play. Okay, they're saying, I do know him, but didn't realize it. Okay, interesting. Yeah, so for the final, now I need to remember. Who do I have? I know the one because I remember who I got winning. Oh, yes. Okay, so I have... I have Dimitrov beating Berrettini in the final. Okay. I guess I lost all my credibility as any form of tennis commentator, yeah? But hey, maybe I'm right. No, I'm claiming it. I'm not going to be shy. I'm claiming that's going to happen. Grigor Dimitrov is going to win the US Open 2022. Clip this. Today is the 30th of August. It's round 1 we are watching. And Grigor Dimitrov is going to win the US Open 2022. I mean, Grigor's really doing well on this court. Like, he has beaten Roger a year before, and he has won Cincinnati, which is a very similar court. And I mean, he really destroyed the Dominic Thiem in that first set before he became ill. So I like his chances. Capricorn saying, I think Berrettini can totally win this. And as a Bulgarian, I'd love to see Dimi win a major, but he hates his fans. Oh, I didn't know that. He hates his fans. Oh, okay. I'm not sure. Didn't know that. Yeah, so Gary saying, anyone who locates someone's marbles, please return them to South Africa by overnight. We'll see. But yeah, I don't think Dimitrov is going to win. I know he's going to win. I'm very confident about that one. And if I'm wrong there, I'm not. But if I'm wrong there, then I'm at least right about Berrettini making the final. I think people are reading too much in Berrettini losing those first round matches in Cincinnati and Canada. I really think he can do very, very well here. Yeah, Capricorn also. I am saying Berrettini has a very good chance. Oh, you mean it's hard to be a Dimitrov fan, yeah? Because he lets you down so often. Just when you think, okay, now he's gonna, because he looks so good. Like his technique is so good on the eye. I guess also being so similar to Federer's. And sometimes he can play so well, but then he just has these odd losses, which is always difficult to explain. Casey, hello. That was my lesson. I hope you faves are doing well. Oh, yeah, at the top. Sorry, I missed your initial message. Choosing Fritz is a good lesson not to pick people who aren't your favorites. Not to pick people who aren't your favorites. Do you mean thereby that you should pick people who are your favorites? Or did you maybe make a mistake in your double negative? Not sure there. Tsurenko is leading 3-2. She has a break. Yeah, so thinking back, I can't remember my draw exactly, but I actually have now that okay, yeah, so Casey confirming that you should pick your favorites. So given that I have given that I have Dimitrov and Berrettini in the final, then probably the question arises, like, these other favorites, where do they lose? And I, especially like Nadal, given how easy his draw is, and especially when I last saw Kecmanovic was actually losing. How is he doing now? Kecmanovic should be his third round opponent. Okay, now he's making a comeback. So he lost the first set against Tin, not to be confused with Tim. It's Tin. But he then won the second set, and now they are even in the third set. So I actually have Rafa losing against Chapo. So, and unlikely, and I think it's very unlikely that Chapo makes it that far. But I think if he makes it far, I think he has the biggest chance of beating Rafa of all his possible opponents. I mean, Nori is never going to beat Rafa, and Schwartzman isn't going to beat Rafa. Rublev is not going to beat Rafa. So I really do think of those, Chapo has the best chance of beating him on a given day. Yes, Chapo is up and down, but when it comes to your like potential of having that GOAT day, then Chapo can bring it. While I think some of the other players like Schwartzman and Nori, with all due respect, yes, they are very consistent, but they don't have that, they have a ceiling of what they can reach on a tennis court. And against the GOATs, that's just never going to be good enough. Capricorn saying exactly. The whole world was like, this is the new Federer since 2012. Yeah, I remember him playing Federer in Basel 2013. I remember that match. And then it was like a big hype around Baby Fed. With the 0 slams at 31, it clearly isn't. Well, at least he had the World Tour Finals, and he has Cincinnati. So I guess that's something. But yeah, I guess at that stage, you would have thought that he would reach higher levels. Yeah, and M saying Dimitrov was at his peak. Australian Open 2017. That was insane. His match against Nadal in the semifinals. That was like such a high, good level of tennis. Like after that match, I thought, no, Nadal's going to destroy Federer, because Dimitrov at that stage, I feel had a better backhand than Federer. But then Federer was able to just launch that backhand to a new level in that final, which was, from a Federer fan's perspective, great to see. Haman, you take that back. Sorry, what did I say? Poor Rafa. Do you mean like he's gonna lose against Chapo? Oh, we'll see. That I'm not like very confident on that guess, but that's what I'm going with. So I assume you're a Rafa fan. Capricorn saying 2017 was Dimi's best year, finished as world number 3. How did he do in Wimbledon 2017? Let's have a look over there, because he made this, was it the quarterfinal one year? But I can't remember which year that was. I think that was earlier. That was like 2016 or 15. Dimitrov, Wimbledon 2017. Okay, so, he lost against Federer in the round of 16. In straight sets, wow. Oh, yeah, okay, Federer won that year, so he was in insane form. But yeah, that's quite an impressive result then by Federer in that match. So when was the year where he made like the quarterfinal or the semifinal? Okay, so not 2016, 2015. Now I can't see the results that far back. But I guess it was 2015 then. But tell me in the chat if you remember. Oh, Capricorn saying it was 2014. Okay, that's long ago. Wow. So yeah, I guess that when you saw him reaching that far, and was it the quarterfinal or the semi? Oh, you say it was Wimbledon semifinal. Okay, yeah. So when you think, okay, Dimitrov, Wimbledon 2014 semifinal, you would think this is a very, very high prospect. And I guess it's disappointing if you would have known at that stage that that's going to be how far he's ever going to get at Wimbledon. Well, so far, we'll see. Yeah, Gary's saying my boy Dimitrov certainly had a good beginning today. Well, it's not only a good beginning, it's going to be a very good end, Gary. I'm going to tell you that much. He is, as I said, he is going to win the US Open. I'm saying Chapo not beating Rafa. Well, you must admit, like, do you agree with me, though, that out of the potential opponents, Chapo has a bigger chance of beating, as Badosa is able to break back. Badosa breaks back, and that means that it's 3 games all back on serve in this matchup, which we for a second lost focus of against on what's exactly happening on court. But Badosa is able to break back, and there's 3 games all. Let me see whether I have a button for her. Obviously, there are so many buttons now. Yes, we do. Let's go for it. Badosa. I don't think I've heard the button before.
Vamos! He was a tennis virtuosa. She gonna show ya. Hey! Vamos! He was a tennis virtuosa. She gonna show ya. It's Paula BADOSA.
Well, she is going to show you. It seems like she was able to break back, and it is 3 games all in the first set. Tsurenko started with fire in this match, but as we often see, it's difficult to maintain that high level of risk play and still reap the rewards of it, as Badosa is now serving. Thank you for everybody joining me in the chat. Consider hitting that like button down below. It costs you nothing, but it really helps the algorithm out. We'd really appreciate that. As Badosa is now hitting to the forehand of Tsurenko. Badosa now with a backhand to the backhand of Tsurenko. It's a beautiful backhand down the line there by Tsurenko. What a backhand winner down the line. And it's love 30. And it seems like we could be looking at a break back by Tsurenko. This match is not done. Right, Tsurenko off at your own peril. Gary Singer, I have to say that Dimitrov winning the US Open would be great. Not would be great, it's gonna be great. Like, Gary, work on your tenses over there. It's gonna be great for tennis and great for a great guy. Yes, I agree. It's gonna be fantastic. Hard to think of a better result. Are there any Rafa fans here? So it seems like Ems is a Rafa fan, if I'm not mistaken. Casey saying, glad to see Stevens won. Was quite worried when she started down love 5 in the first set. Yeah, I also. It was like, oh, come on. So I don't know whether you were in the chat by that stage, but I actually have Sloane Stevens making the final and losing against Madison Keys in the final. I'm going to really think Chapeau is overrated. He has no consistency. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. No consistency, right? But that's the big thing. We are looking at a one-on-one match, right? So when you have someone like a Norrie versus Nadal and they play 20 times, I truly believe that Nadal is going to win 20 of those 20 times. Norrie is very consistent, but he has a ceiling of what he can achieve. So let's think about it as a scale of 0 to 10. Norrie is going to be 7, 7, 7, 7, 7 each match. Chapeau is like 2, 3, 9, 4, 10, 1, 1, 2, 9, you know? So it's not consistent, but on a given day, he will have a bigger chance of beating Rafa because there's a possibility that he can reach that 9 and thereby in a single matchup be able to beat Rafa, while a 7 is just never going to be good enough against someone of the likes of Rafa. So that's what I think. So yes, consistency is an issue, but in a single match, consistency is not relevant in terms of can he beat that player on that specific day. Casey saying interesting final. Yeah, going for a strange pick just to make it interesting. And my rationale behind that, as I've said earlier, is if Sloane Stevens is able to beat Iga in the second round, then she's from there on taking the position of the first seed, thereby making the draw quite a bit easier. So it all, for me, depends on whether she can beat Iga. And if she's able to beat Iga, that confidence that she'll able to obtain from that will also then maybe enable her to bring back her form that she had in previous years. Kathy is a huge Rafa fan. Okay. Interesting. Hi, MJ. Nice to have you in the chat as well. Oh, it's a good serve there by Badosa to the forehand. Oh, wrong footing, Tsurenko over there. That's beautiful play there by Badosa. And it's advantage to Badosa after being left 30 down in this game. Kathy saying, I'm nervous when he plays, Rafa plays. So tell me, Kathy, I assume you're not worried about today's match, surely. That should be straight sailing. But the next round can be interesting, whether it's Fognini or Karatsev. Could be, he should win that, but it's more interesting in the sense that I can think as a Rafa fan, you're like, but maybe, you never know. Yeah, Chapeau is a loose cannon, definitely. In his defense, I must also say it's going to be a byproduct of being such an aggressive player in general. Like if you play that aggressive, you're gonna go for your shots or try to hit winners all the time. Sometimes it's just not gonna work, and then sometimes it is. MJ and the rest, Julie, I was kidding, right? You guys are like beehive buzzing around my head day after day. Okay, she's saying I wouldn't be mad at that final or result at all, assuming you're referring to a final between Slow and Stevens and Madison Keys. All right, we have Badosa hitting a backhand to the forehand of Tsurenko. It's just in. Nice deep play. Tsurenko now going with the forehand to the backhand of Badosa as they're both hitting the ball quite high in the air, like moonball types of vibes. Badosa now with a cross-court forehand to the forehand of... Is that a ball? Oh, something is on the court. Are they going to stop play? They're not stopping play, but something's definitely on court. Can you see it as well for those of you following it on screen? Or is it something in the sky? Or is it on the camera? But can you see there's like a dot there by the court in the middle, but they are ignoring it, so I'm going to assume it's not on court. It was quite a long rally there, which Tsurenko was able to take, and it means that it's break point for Tsurenko. Advantage Tsurenko. Can she capitalize and break back after Badosa was able to get her break back? Let's see. Last rally was 28 shots. That's quite a lot. Let's see. Badosa serving, trying to save break point here. The dot on the screen is gone, so I'm not sure what that was. As Badosa is now serving to the forehand of Tsurenko. Badosa stepping with the drop shot, but the drop shot fails! The drop shot fails by Badosa, and that means Tsurenko breaks again for the second time in the set. And this means Tsurenko is now leading in the set 4-3 as she breaks, and she will be serving in the next game. Can she make it 5-3 and maybe cause an upset here tonight? Well, I must say, I did not see that coming. I really thought when Badosa broke back and make it 3-all, I was like, okay, we are back on track. There's going to be straight set sailing for Badosa. Now, Jean did predict in the beginning of this match that Tsurenko is going to take this in 3 sets. Let's see whether that is true. Thank you for the 80 people on the line currently, more or less. Thank you for joining me. Please consider hitting that like button down below. It really helps the algorithm out if you have not already. And let's see whether Tsurenko can cause a similar upset than her Ukrainian counterpart yesterday evening against Halep. Okay, confirming that she is nervous for the second round matchup against either Fognini or Karatsev. Capricorn saying Fognini hates Nadal. I'm preparing the popcorn. Yeah, I wonder, like who do you think in the chat has a better chance of beating Rafa? Because on the one side, Fognini has beaten Rafa before at the US Open, but his form is so bad currently. But I mean, Karatsev form is also very poor at the moment. Karatsev never having played Rafa before, if I'm correct. So I think personally Karatsev has a better chance of beating Rafa than Fognini. I saw actually Fognini versus Rafa at Shanghai in 2017, and I thought, oh, this is going to be a great match. But then Rafa absolutely destroyed Fognini. MJ, you picked Stevens and Dimitrov to win. No, I picked Keys. So in my women's final, I have Stevens against Keys, and then Keys winning. And then in the men's final, I have Dimitrov against Berrettini, and I have Dimitrov winning that side. I'm saying the Rafa service game has been the most stressful thing I've ever gone through. Yeah, I seen how did you feel after that double fault against Chorik? That must have been heartbreaking. Interesting. If you're right, you got to play the lotto if they have that in SA. Yeah, well, I'm not guessing that Dimitrov is going to win. I know he's going to win. It's not like maybe he's going to win. He is. He's going to win. I'm very, very confident about that call. I assume he's the most popular pick on the betting sites, is he not? No, I know the odds of Dimitrov winning is 155 to 1. And I wanted to place a bet, but then, as I said earlier, like on my betting side that I usually go, you can't pick an outright winner when the tournament has already started. So I missed that cutoff. So I can't bet on him winning the tournament any longer. But that would have been cool, like 155 to 1. It's good odds. Gary's saying I was exactly the same with Novak. Fear of loss is rampant. Yeah, I guess that's a nice thing, like being a Federer fan. It's like if he wins, it's almost like a bonus. Well, I can think like if you support someone that's constantly winning, then it's like if he wins, it's like a relief. And if he doesn't win, it's like the end of the world vibe. So it's never like joy to the max vibes, which is, it's a stressful situation. Kathy saying Rafa doesn't fear loss, I don't think, but he's nervous playing those unknowns in the first rounds. I must say I actually agree with that. I disagree with that. I think he hates nothing more than losing. I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. You could now debate. I think in terms of his results, it makes him a very good player. But I do actually think that he just hates losing. I'm not there by saying he's a bad loser. I mean, it's always very respectful, but I just think that when he loses, he doesn't like that at all. Capricorn saying Badosa's 2020 is quite literally awful. She can easily be the big name to drop out of the tournament today. Yep, I do think it can happen. As she's now serving at 3-5. I'm just saying I'd rather meet Karatsev. Okay, that's an interesting take. You're saying that's even worse. Keys. Well, she's seeded 20th. I like my odds. Ames confirmed that Rybakina is a game away from going out. That's interesting. As Badosa's now with the forehand. Oh, but Tsurenko's able to get there though, but it's just wide there by Tsurenko, and it's 15 all at 3-5. Badosa serving. Dream Tennis, nice having you in the chat. Like your keys, Beck. Don't know about Slow Ann. Oh, okay, we'll see. Well, I think it all depends on the next round against Iga. If Slow Ann Stevens wins against Iga, I think people, no, not if, when she beats Iga in the next round, I think people are suddenly going to say, okay, well, maybe Slow Ann can actually do this. And not only can she will. As we have Badosa hitting a backhand to the backhand of Tsurenko, going down to her knees. Now Tsurenko with a backhand to the backhand of Badosa, who tries to go down the line, but she hits it in the net, and it's 15-30. Ilan saying Haddad Maya or Samsonova are looking very strong. I'm just saying I don't like sports gambling, even if it's for bragging rights. I have enough interests. I don't need that to suck my time up. So tell me, MJ, do you participate in the fantasy league of the TNNS app just for fun, as that is not like money driven, or don't you participate in that either? Kathy saying hate losing and fearing losing are two different things. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. I agree with you. And MJ confirming that Rafa hates losing. He's not afraid of losing. Yeah, I agree with that. Capricorn saying Slow Anna has the game to beat Iga. She just needs to charge her batteries. On a given day and with a crowd on her side, probably being American, I mean, you never know. Oh, and it's set point to Tsurenko. I missed that. 30-40. Set point for Tsurenko. I think Badosa just saved one. I think it was 15-40. So it's 30-40 for Badosa. Can she save another set point? It's a serve to the forehand of Tsurenko. It's a good return. Badosa now to the forehand of Tsurenko. Now Badosa's going to go for a backhand to the backhand of Tsurenko, who goes cross-court to the backhand of Badosa. Tsurenko now with the forehand down the line. Badosa with a beautiful backhand to cross-court. Tsurenko's able to get there, though. Badosa with a forehand down the line. Tsurenko's able to get there as well. Badosa shanks it! Badosa shanks it! And it's first set to Tsurenko. Are we in for an upset tonight? She shanks it, Badosa. Oh, my goodness. And that means that Tsurenko, she didn't even serve for the set. She was able to break at the end as well, meaning that she broke 3 times throughout the set. Not once, not twice, 3 times. And that means not only that Tsurenko won the first set, but also she's going to serve first for the second set. Insane. Stick with me tonight for the remainder of this match, and we'll see whether Tsurenko can pull this upset through. Is it really an upset, or did some of you predict this? Tell me in the chat, what do you think is going to happen? Thank you for the 100 of you currently joining me live. Please consider hitting the like button down below, and let's see whether Tsurenko can pull this off. I don't have a button for Tsurenko, I think. I doubt it. Yeah, there won't be one. But yeah, this is going to be very interesting. Is Badosa going to make a comeback, or is Tsurenko going to pull this off? Well, given how she really dominated the set, I do think that she's going to pull this off. Carrie, who thinks Chorik would have a chance of beating Rafa twice in a row? I really don't, but if Borna continues his level of play, yeah, you never know. And I also think like Chorik is, as I've stated earlier, like you need that person that is able to generate that kind of level on a given day, and I think he is one of those players. Unlike the likes of like talent maximizers, you know, like your Nori, your Swatchmans, who are very consistent, but is maybe not able to generate that needed level of play on a given day to beat the likes of Rafael Nadal. Like I say, MJ saying you never participate in anything related to sports betting or leagues or gambling. Okay. Capricorn, if Chorik maintains the Cincinnati level, he is winning the US Open. That would be insane, but I'm always very, very careful for recency bias. I'm saying I thought Rafa would retire when he started a family, but his wife can't get the racket out of his hand. Interesting. And I wonder to what extent, like, and it's just fun speculation, but like, if someone of the likes of Djokovic wasn't there, would he have maybe called it quits? Now, obviously, I know if you ask that question to him in the conference room, he would say, no, it's not the reason he's still playing. He would never say that it is the reason, but you wonder whether that plays a role. The fact that Djokovic is still active and on his heels with regards to the Grand Slam tally, whether that's, and not maybe like for that reason alone, like mathematically, but maybe it's like it keeps him motivated to keep on playing and compete. Whilst maybe if that level of competition, like your rival isn't there any longer, maybe that plays a role in whether you still want to continue playing or not. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep up with the chat here. I'm a bit behind. All right, as we have Tsurenko eating a backhand to the backhand of Badosa. Badosa now with a backhand in the net. And it's 30-15 for Tsurenko. And Tsurenko serving to the forehand of Badosa. It's a poor return there by Badosa. And it's 40-15. Let's see, Tsurenko serving at 40-15. She serves a fault. Second serve. She takes her time. And she serves a double fault. 40-30. I'm saying you love how I read all your comments. Thank you. Yeah, I try. Well, it's what makes it fun, right? I mean, what I like about the channel, it's like why do you watch the channel? It would be interesting analysis, but I think a lot of the reason why people like watching Game to Love is because it really feels like you're watching the match with other people, and even not if you're talking necessarily about the current match. You're not just talking about the current match, but also like tennis in general. I feel like a lot of people aren't here not necessarily to follow the match, but just to chat with people that love the same sports as you do, and talk like a what ifs and form of players and so I feel like I think it's crucial to engage with the chat, because I think that's what makes the channel unique. All right, let's see. Tsurenko serving at deuce. She serves the backhand of Badosa, and Tsurenko is there in the net, and it's advantage to Badosa, and it's very early here. The break opportunity here for Badosa to maybe make a statement in the second set of this match. Tsurenko serves to the forehand of Badosa. Now Badosa with a backhand to the backhand of Tsurenko. It's in the middle of the court. Badosa is going for a big forehand to the cross court, and she is able to break. Badosa is able to break in the first game of the second set, making a statement to Tsurenko saying, this is not going the way you would like this. I'm going to break immediately and put pressure on you. This match is not done. First break by Badosa in the second set.
Vamos! He was a tennis virtuosa. She gonna show ya. Hey, vamos! He was a tennis virtuosa. She gonna show ya. It's Paula BADOSA.
It is Badosa. Is she making a comeback in the second set? We'll have to see. We saw Tsurenko breaking 3 times in the first set, so we could see some more breaks off serve. I don't think the set is done with Badosa having broken now, but let's see. Thank you, everybody, for joining me tonight. If you haven't already, please consider hitting the like button down below. We are currently on 30 likes. We are 31. Oh, wow. Yay. We are 88 people online. Let's see whether we can get to 50 likes. That would be quite insane. As we have Badosa here serving at 15 love to Tsurenko. It's a nice serve there. Now, Tsurenko now with a forehand down the line to the forehand of Badosa. Tsurenko now with the forehand to the backhand of Badosa. Tsurenko now with a backhand to the forehand of Badosa, as Tsurenko is really moving nicely, but she overcooks that one, and it is 15 or 30 love to Badosa. Can she hold quickly here and really make that statement of her being back in this match? We'll just have to wait and see. All right, so it seems like Rybakina did lose, Gary is saying, so there goes my draw on the women's side. Rybakina out, Kasatkina out. So what else is new? Well, I can tell you, Gary, what is new is that my draw is looking not too bad. I have Slow and Stevens and Keys, and they are both doing very well. And we have Dimitrov versus Berrettini in the final at the men's, and that is still on point to happen. So yeah, it's going very well. Thank you very much. Well, I obviously also have a few things that are not looking well in the sense, like obviously I didn't predict Tsitsipas and Fritz losing, but I mean, who did? Okay, so Rybakina lost straight sets, and Badosa is able to hold, and not just any hold. It's not just any game. It's a game to love, and we do like a game to love, hence the name of the channel. Bunny! All right, let's get that clip. Game to love for Badosa, to love. All right, and Badosa is leading this second set to love. Tsurenko now serving to try to get back in the set. Kathy saying Goffin versus Musetti up that court next year. That's going to be an interesting matchup. It's difficult to predict. Like, I'm a big fan of Goffin, and I really think he's been overrated this year. But I must say, the past few tournaments, I've picked him often in my draws, and then he's just not performing. So that will be an interesting matchup. I do feel for Musetti that he drew Chorich in the first round of Cincinnati. And he lost against Chorich. As we know, Chorich won the tournament. So it will be interesting to see what Musetti can do in this tournament. And that's a big shank, but it's in. A shank that is in by Badosa, as Badosa is now hitting the backhand to the forehand of Tsurenko. And they're just playing it high in the air. And now Tsurenko with the cross-court backhand to the backhand of Badosa, who's not able to get hold of that ball. She tries to go to her knees to get low below that ball, but she hits it out, and it's 15 all. Yeah, so it's just nice to see in the chat people confirming that when you don't have really have people to talk about tennis with, it's just nice to have this outlet over here to talk tennis. I mean, it's always the same regulars as well. So it's just then you get to know the people, and you know like who is supporting who and the time zones. And then it's almost as if like the tennis isn't alive yet when you haven't chatted about it with other people. Like for me also, like when tennis happens, I need to go to the Game to Love channels and see what people are thinking, what Gil Gross is thinking, etc. And then it becomes live. I mean, it's so much more than just about like the result or the technique and stuff. It's the storyline that it creates, which is just so beautiful. Oh, wow. Gary saying I'm number 1 in GTL for group chat about tennis. Thank you very much, Gary. That's very nice. I assume you say that to everybody, but thank you. And Kathy, before GTL, I had no one to talk tennis with. It's a new lease on life. Thank you to all the GTL staff members and watchers. Yeah, I really think it's important that Game to Love keeps on trying to make it their focus, like the continuous chat with a chat. Hopefully, it's not a case of becoming so popular that the chat explodes to such an extent that it's difficult to follow. But obviously, it's a catch-22 because you want the channel to become as successful as it can. But I truly believe, yeah, the main objective should always be the chat, engaging with a chat, even if it is sometimes at the expense of a play-by-play commentary on what's happening on screen. I'm just saying round 2 not even over. I assume you're referring to me saying that Dimitrov and and Stevens is gonna win. True, it's not over, but we'll see. Tsurenko is able to hold that game, so it's she gets her first game on the board for the set, 2-1. Catherine Goffin was good for a short spurt this year. Yeah, it really was. He played Rafa surprisingly well at the French Open. Was it? I can't remember now. It's quite long ago. I remember I also had him going far at Halle, and then unfortunately lost first round again. I think it was against Medvedev, if I'm not mistaken. I had him go far at Halle because he has made the final there previously, but then unfortunately he got Medvedev. And also always the unfortunate thing is when you are ranked so low, whether it's due to injury or lack of form, it's really difficult to come back because you are really facing these high quality opponents very early on. So the only way you can really make a comeback and get a nice draw is to cause upsets in the beginning. So this is actually not a bad draw for Goffin to have Musetti in the first round. If he's able to go through that match, maybe he could make a run in this US Open. M saying Venus down 4-love. Okay, that is interesting. Okay, they're saying the chat exploding was doing Australian Open and Novak trial when thousands and thousands were in here talking about over each other. You had to be a speed reader to keep up. Okay, yeah, so I watched it, but I actually didn't follow the chat. But yeah, it's interesting, and I can think that was insane because I remember then it like so many people watched online during that stream, and also like the channel obtained a lot of subscribers during the stream of the trial. I watched the mixture of this and also like Cam Williams. I watched his coverage on it as well, and I like switched between the two. So I know on his channel also it exploded during the Novak trial. And then like you have these people saying that they just want the Novak trial to be over and focus on the tennis. But I mean, it did so well for the channel. So I guess that is that silver linings that a lot of people got to know the channel because of the trial. Okay, I think it might have been Wimbledon against Rafa. Okay, well, let's search this quickly. Goffin versus Rafa. It was Madrid Interesting. Okay, so in the Madrid Open, it was Nadal won 6-3, 5-7, 7-6. And in that tiebreak, it was 11-9 to Nadal. Okay, that's insane. Okay, so it was very, very close. Nadal against Goffin at the Madrid Open. It seems that was the close match that you are referring to. Let's see, like in terms of points won. Okay, Nadal did win comfortably more points, like 120 versus 105. No, like a lot of times you have that irony where you lose the match despite having won more points, which is referred to as the Simpson paradox. So it's that odd because of the odd scoring system of tennis where it's not about the total points you have, but the games. So it's very possible that you win more points and still lose the match. I guess the most famous example being Federer versus Djokovic in the 2019 Wimbledon final, where Federer won actually quite a lot more points than Djokovic in the match, but still lost that match. And Federer, it's interesting when you Google like tennis, Simpson, I'm not sure how to spell it, Simpson paradox. And they actually talk about how Federer is the one like the worst performer in that regard. Let me Google Federer Simpson paradox. So this was posted in 2016 already. So, I mean, the stats should look now even worse after we know some of his matches. So Federer had won 9 points more than his opponent. Oh, that was an example. But just somewhere I read, like, he has so many cases where he has more points than his opponent and still lost. I think he's the player with the most of such cases. Let's see. I can't get that exact stat quickly enough. Oh, here we go. Federer and the Simpson paradox, 2015 to 2016. Oh, that's in 1 year. In 1 year alone, against Seppi, he lost at the Australian Open. Against Kyrgios, he lost in Madrid. And then Djokovic in the US Open final. I remember that one. Ramos Vinolas in Shanghai. Isner in Paris. And Dominic Thiem in Stuttgart. That's all in a 1 year period. He lost all of those matches, but still had more points than the opponents in all of those matches. That's quite interesting. Very, very interesting. I'm saying I only found this channel with Novak trial, but didn't know GTL did matches, and then found it again after the Australian Open final and rewatched the final peacefully, knowing who won. All right. I can't remember the first time I saw it. It's probably with the Novak trial that I saw for the first time. I can't remember now exactly. Tell me in the chat. Maybe you are like one of the first people that joined. That would be interesting to hear. Like when the channel started. Maybe some of you are some of the original people. Right, let's see. Tsurenko now heading to the forehand of Badosa, forcing Tsurenko to run, and she is able to hit that for a winner. No, that's not Tsurenko, that's Badosa. Sorry, I swapped the two around, and it's love 30 for Badosa. And she's making quite a statement in the set. Gary saying Venus already down love 4. No, I guess it's not looking well for her in that matchup. MJ, what I don't get is most of the commentators are from UK, yet they don't cover Brit people like Nori. Yeah, that is interesting. And I remember also people complaining that Nori didn't get enough coverage at Wimbledon this year. Tsurenko serving at love 30. She serves the backhand of Tsurenko. It's set to the forehand of... No, I swapped the players again. Sorry. Other way, it's 15:30. Tsurenko is serving. Oh, that's interesting. Kathy's saying you found audio on Spotify and then realized it was a YouTube channel. I think I've been here for 15 to 16 months. Okay, that's quite long. Well done. Tsurenko serving at 15:30. She serves with the backhand of Badosa. Tsurenko now with the backhand to the forehand of Badosa. Tsurenko now with the backhand to the backhand of Badosa as they're exchanging backhands cross court. And Tsurenko hits that long and it's 15-40, which means another break points opportunity for Badosa to take complete control of this second set. MJ, it's like if it's American Tennis Channel and they only covered non-Americans. I'm in New York City and they show exclusively on ESPN the American matches or Rafa Novak. Makes sense. I'll think the Kavanori when he plays Rafa. He's not going to play Rafa, Gary. Chapo is going to play Rafa and take him out. Let's see. Tsurenko serving at 30-40, trying to save a break point. Big return there by Badosa, but she overcooks it. And that means that Tsurenko saves 2 break points, and we are on deuce. Tsurenko serving at 1-3 in this second set. Tsurenko serving to the backhand of Badosa. Tsurenko now with the forehand to the forehand of Badosa as they are exchanging forehands. And Badosa overcooks it, and it's advantage for Tsurenko as she wins 4 points in a row. Impressive stuff. Advantage Tsurenko as she serves to the backhand of Badosa. Tsurenko now to the forehand, just clips over the net by Badosa. Badosa's going to try to pass. Tsurenko at the net. And Badosa approaches. Tsurenko again at the net. And it's in. Badosa now with the cross-court forehand and clips the net. It goes out. It goes out by Badosa and Tsurenko holds. And she wins 5 points in a row, meaning that it's only 1 break there by Badosa. Well done there. She was behind 15-40. Won 5 points in a row and made sure that she's not too far behind in this game. Impressive stuff. Only 1 break. Tsurenko's not given up on this set yet. We are on 36 likes. Please, let's try to get to 40. That will be great for those of you online currently. Please consider hitting the like button down below. Let's see whether Ken can get that 36 to a number of 40. Gary saying, I knew about Game to Love, but the way they covered the Novak saga made me a believer. It was Ben, JG, and John Silk. Yeah, I remember. It is a class act all the way, and I became a member shortly thereafter. All right. Venus is 42, correct. Let's see what's going around on the grounds, as I'm not following the grounds. US Open. All right, let's see. So, Goffin and Musetti is underway. Chorik took the first set quite convincingly, 6-2. Altmaier versus Sinner looks like it is interesting. Altmaier serving now to stay in the set at 4-5. Cilic doing very well. Got the first set 6-3 and is now leading with a break in the second set as well. And now will be serving for 4-2. Kecmanovic looks like he will get through his match after losing the first set. Who is the suggested opponent, or it looks like he's going to be the opponent for Nadal in the third round. Holger Rune looking impressive. It's now a tiebreak in the third set. Rublev, I'm actually quite chuffed how he's doing, although does have a break point now in the third set, but Rublev took the first 2 sets. I really thought that's a possible upset for Rublev. In fact, in my fantasy draw, I do have Rublev losing the first round match. And Jer was able to break Rublev there, and Jer will serve for the third set at 5-3. Verdasco versus Kwon. currently in the fourth set. Interesting matchup over there. Evans beat Vesely very comfortably, 6-4, 6-1, 6-1. Isner also very impressive with a straight sets victory over Delbonis. Alcaraz got a walkover. That's interesting. 7-5, 7-5, and then 2-love in the third set. He had a walkover over Baez. I thought that could be quite a tricky matchup, so it's interesting to see that it's a walkover there. Tell me in the chat if you maybe know the reason for that. Gasquet was able to pull through against Torre Daniel. And then Dimitrov, as we know, the winner of the US Open 2020, he got through in straight sets against Steve Johnson. Let's see Tsurenko or Badosa serving at 15:40, meaning that it's 2 breakpoint opportunities for Tsurenko. Tsurenko with a backhand return to the forehand of Badosa. Tsurenko stepping in with a forehand to the forehand of Badosa as they're exchanging forehands cross-court. Tsurenko tries to go down the line, but she overcooks it, and it's 30-40. This is really a golden opportunity for Tsurenko. She was looking like she could be down a double break in the previous service game, but now she has the opportunity to make it level in the second set. Drama here at the US Open. Badosa serving at 30-40. She serves to the forehand of Tsurenko. It's a nice return there by Tsurenko. Tsurenko is now to the backhand of Badosa. Tsurenko now with the backhand in the net. And there's another break point missed there by Tsurenko. And we are on deuce. It's such a golden opportunity here for Tsurenko. I really feel like she needs to break here if she wants to stand a chance of claiming this set and therefore match. Badosa serving at deuce. She serves to the forehand of Tsurenko. Badosa now with the forehand to the forehand again of Tsurenko. She doesn't overcook it just in. Now Badosa with a backhand to the forehand of Tsurenko as they're now exchanging backhands. Badosa now with a forehand to the forehand of Tsurenko. No one really taking any big risk at this stage, although Tsurenko overcooks it and has advantage for Badosa and has 3 points in a row for Badosa. Okay, they're saying Baez retired for cramping. That's very unfortunate to see. Oh, and saying that was an awesome match. I assume you mean Alcaraz versus Baez. I watched the whole 2.2 sets. Yeah, was 2.5 hours for 2 sets. Okay, so it was a very long match. And Badosa holds. She saves 2 break points. And that means that she is leading the second set 4-2. So she's on course to take this set and then force it to a third set by the 4th seed Badosa.
Vamos! He was a tennis virtuosa. She gonna show ya. Vamos! He was a tennis virtuosa. She gonna show ya. It's Paula BADOSA.
All right. And I have a very, very big announcement to make. We were on 36 likes about 10 minutes ago. And I can say now we are on 37. Whoop, whoop. Let's see whether they can get to 38. Or is that a tall ask? Let's see. I think we can do it. 38. Come on, hit that like button below. Those of you online that haven't yet. And we can dominate the YouTube algorithm with our 38 likes. And together we shall conquer the World Wide Web. Tsurenko serving to try to stay in the set, but it's love 15 to Badosa already. She serves a very, very slow serve, and it's destroyed there by Badosa, hitting big now. But Badosa overcooks it. She goes too big, and it's 15 all. Tsurenko serving to the backhand of Badosa. Tsurenko now going for a big cross-court backhand. And it's a winner. And it's 30-15. Tsurenko serving. but she does not execute the serve. I think the sun was a bit of a problem. When I say the sun, I mean like the sun in the air, not like the sun, like a child, a male child. Oh, and again, the sun is an issue. When I say the sun, I mean like the star. I don't mean like the sun as in the child, a male child of a parent. And she serves, and it's a big forehand cross court there by Tsurenko, and she's at the net, and she puts that away for a winner, and it's 40-15. Now, she really needs to hold this game if she has any chance of saving the set. 40-15 serving, stating the obvious, I guess. Right. And Tsurenko is there in the net, though, and she's very frustrated with herself. And it's 40-30. She serves 40-50. She serves in the net. Second serve to the backhand of Badosa. There's a big return there by Badosa. Badosa now on the backhand to the backhand of Tsurenko. And now a forehand cross-court by Tsurenko. And Tsurenko is really dominating this rally. Oh, it clips the net by Badosa. But Tsurenko is able to get there. Now Badosa's going to go back. She has to retreat. Oh, and she's able to win that point from nowhere. Well done there by Tsurenko as she holds. It looked like Badosa's going to steal that point with some lucky net court over there, but the speed of Tsurenko was too much to handle. And that means that Badosa is only one break ahead in this second set. Can Tsurenko maybe break? She's broken quite often already throughout this match. In fact, she has broken already 3 times. All 3 of them, however, were in the first set. Badosa will be serving at 4-3. Oh my word. Did we just break the internet? We are on 41 likes. Whoop whoop. Thank you very much. That is so much more than I could ever thought I could ask for. Thank you. 41. Wow. Well, now we need to aim for 50, but that's probably too much to ask. So we are in court 17 for this coverage. Paula BADOSA against Lesia Tsurenko. Badosa looking comfortable, but you never know. I mean, Tsurenko, as I've said, have already broken 3 times. There's no reason why she can't do it again in the set. She had 2 looks at breakpoint opportunities in the previous game. Let's see. Badosa serving at 4-3. She's serving to the backhand of Badosa. She's stepping in. And now Badosa at the net. Tsurenko stepping in, trying to go for the lob, but the lob is wide. And that means Badosa takes the first point. Interesting net approach there by Badosa. I think it's the first one we've seen this match thus far. And it is successful. 15-love. Badosa serving. In the net. Ooh, it's getting quite late. 10 o'clock for me now. Badosa serving. It's a double fault. And it is 15-all. I think the sun is a bit of an issue there. Badosa serving. And now she stops. And I'm not sure whether it's due to noise or the wind. And she's now going to serve. And she serves in the net. I really think the sun is an issue on that side of the court. I need to clarify. When I say the sun, and she there again, the toss is not working. I don't mean like a child sitting there in the crowd, like a son making noise or anything. I mean like the the sun, like as in the star there at the top. I think it's in the eye, like it shines very brightly, just like the career of Alcaraz, you might say. So then you aren't able to see, and then it affects your serve. Now, yes, you can wear a cap, but the problem is that it only works to an extent. Like when you're looking right ahead, then it helps. But if you're looking up when you're serving, and when I say serving, I don't mean like a religious activity where you're like serving someone. I mean like serving in tennis. Then you can't see because the sun is shining in your eyes. It's 30 all, which means that Tsurenko has a bit of a window of opportunity here. Have you seen that clip of The Office? There's like, shut up about the sun. Shut up about the sun. That's such a good scene. To the backhand of Tsurenko, Badosa is serving. She now has a forehand to the backhand of Tsurenko. Badosa now stepping in with a big backhand, but it's in the middle of the court. Get some direction. Go left or right. There she tries to go for cross court with her backhand, but it's in the net. And that means it's a break point opportunity for Tsurenko. Interesting, as soon as she tried to change direction, she hits the error. Ames, I'm glad you're enjoying the coverage. Marcus, hello, welcome to the chat. Come on, Paula, love it at Cabine, won a first match too. So I assume you are from Spain, or at least some form of supporter of Spain. As Tsurenko has a breakpoint opportunity, Badosa now with the forehand goes wide. The forehand of Badosa goes wide. That means that Tsurenko breaks. And that means that we are level again at 4 games all in the second set. Break by Tsurenko. Oh, what drama here at the US Open on court 17. It will be the headlines of all the newspapers tomorrow. 4 games all. Maybe not. You never know. Tsurenko serving at 4 games all to the backhand of Badosa. And Badosa now stepping in. Tsurenko with a big forehand to the forehand of Badosa. I really think the sun is an issue at the place where they are serving. Now, I know I've said it like 13 times already, but I think it's a smart observation. I need to give myself some credit there because they both got broken when they served there. And you could see like with the tosses, they are not comfortable standing there and serving from that side because of the light in their eyes. As it's a good start there by Badosa, taking charge at love 15. Can she break back immediately? Well, they haven't switched sides because it's 4-all, so Badosa still standing in the place of the sun. But as she's returning, that's less of an issue versus when she's serving. Let's see, Tsurenko serving at love 15. She serves to the forehand of Badosa. Now Badosa with a backhand cross court. Tsurenko is now a bit of trouble. Badosa now with a forehand to the forehand of Tsurenko. Both now playing it safely, going cross court. Oh, down the line by Tsurenko, but Badosa is able to get there. Now a cross court backhand. Slice by Badosa. Slice by Tsurenko in the net. Slice by Tsurenko. The slice there by Badosa was so fresh. Wow. I think it's the first slice I've seen throughout this match. And it was not only beautifully executed, but the result thereof was also so nice. She apologized to Tsurenko, which is odd because I really feel that was just a quality slice there by Badosa. She should employ that more often. Tsurenko now serving at love 30. Can Badosa break back? She serves the forehand of Badosa, and there's a poor response there by Tsurenko. The return wasn't that great by Badosa, but she just lost footing there, lost balance. And it's love 40, and that means that it's 3 break opportunities here for Badosa. Wow, wow, wow. And Tsurenko shaking her head, as am I. She's serving at love 40. And she serves to the backhand of Badosa. Now, Tsurenko in the net. It's in the net by Tsurenko. And it's a very, very easy break there by Badosa after losing serve in the previous game. And she will be serving for the set. It is Badosa in control of this second set. But you never know what could happen next. We've seen so many breaks this far. Is this the end of the set? Maybe not.
Vamos! Igual tenis de choza, she gonna show ya. Hey, vamos! Igual tenis de choza, she gonna show ya. It's Paula BADOSA.
It is Badosa that will be serving for the second set and try to force it to a third set. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. All right, 45 likes. Let's see whether we can get that to 50. That will be great. 5 more likes to get to that milestone. Let's see what's happening on the other courts of US Open. Currently, Kofan and Musetti is on serve. Kofan serving at 2-3. Chorik and, I'm not sure how to pronounce his surname, Kowakaud is on serve in the second set. Chilik really dominating over there. Really someone to keep an eye on in this tournament. We know like how well he can play, especially at this tournament, having been so dominant in 2014, where he just destroyed Federer in the semifinals. And Jer is he took the third set against Rublev and he broke already in the fourth set. Up 1-0, and he will serve next. I've said earlier that I have actually Rublev losing this match in my fantasy league draw, so it will be very nice for my draw if Rublev is able to lose. Well, that's very negative to state it like that. Let's rather say it will be great if Jer is able to win for my draw in that matchup, but it's still quite a while to go for that to happen. But we'll keep an eye on that matchup as Badosa is serving for the second set over here, and it's already 15-love. $15 for Badosa, serving to the backhand of Tsurenko. And Tsurenko now stepping in with a forehand. Oh, that's a nice forehand by her. And Badosa is able to get that ball, but she overcooks it. And it's 15-all. So looking at break points throughout this match, we've seen that Tsurenko has converted 4 out of 10, which is not bad. And Badosa converted 3 out of 5. Oh, it's a good return there by Tsurenko. It's nice and deep. And Badosa's not able to do anything with that return. And it's 15-30. Sure. Tsurenko should open a bank because the returns that she's offering is really amazing. Badosa serving at 15-30 to the forehand of Tsurenko. Badosa stepping in with a forehand. And Tsurenko's going to try to pass. Oh, and Badosa's not able to work with that volley. And she's frustrated. She's frustrated. That was a poor volley. And I agree with her. That was not good. And that means that it's 2 break back opportunities for Tsurenko. Can she break back? I said it's not done. I said it. It's not done. We've seen so many breaks throughout this match. This set is not over. Badosa serving at 15-40. And she serves to the forehand of Tsurenko. Goes for a block return. Badosa hits it in the net. Badosa hits it in the net. Shocking shot. It was not a good return. It was like a block return, but it wasn't even deep. It wasn't wide. It was like, okay, here you go. And Badosa hits it in the net. 5 games all. 5 games all. This set is not done. Tsurenko will be serving. Oh, Gary's saying Sinner's 1 set down. That's very interesting. We'll keep an eye on that scoreline as well. Capricorn, has Badosa cried yet? Well, she's frustrated. I haven't seen any tears, but that being said, my stream is so pixelated I can barely see that they are playing tennis. Badosa losing? Well, it seems like it could be the case. Tsurenko serving at 5 games all. Let's see whether Tsurenko can pull this through. Badosa looking focused, returning. And Tsurenko, it's a forehand to the backhand of Badosa. Tsurenko Now with the backhand, as they're exchanging backhands cross-court, now Badosa goes down the line with a backhand. Badosa now with a big backhand, and Tsurenko's not able to handle that pace. That was just too big by Badosa, and it's love 15. Oh, the drama on court 17. Can you believe it? Love 15, Tsurenko serving. Oh, it's in the net. That's a poor serve. I think she's maybe also standing again on the side where the sun is shining in her eyes, but also I think the wind is also making it very tricky to serve. Love 15, second serve to the backhand of Badosa. Now Tsurenko with a forehand, but it's in the middle of the court. They're not having any direction at this stage, just playing it in the middle. Forehand off Badosa in the net. I'm not sure. This is poor quality. I mean, nobody's really like hitting winners or anything. It's just like hitting in the middle. Very much like the final we saw with Zverev against Team, where it's just like, okay, who's going to make the error? And I think it could be a lot due to the wind, that they feel like they're not able to control the ball that well, so they're rather playing it safely. Nerves could also definitely be a factor here at play, as it is 5-all in the set at 15-all, but definitely the wind is an issue. Tsurenko serving to the forehand of Badosa, who returns down the line. And it's a nice deep shot there by Tsurenko. Now she goes cross-court to the forehand of Badosa. Tsurenko with a backhand in the middle of the court, and they're exchanging once again in the middle. You can like take a ruler and it will be directly. Oof, and Tsurenko overcooks that backhand. And it's 15-30. Can we see another break on the cards? I will not be surprised at all. $15-30. Tsurenko serving to the backhand of Badosa. Oh, Tsurenko's on thin lines here. She's hitting the ball very deep. She must be careful. Now we have the big forehand down the line by Badosa. And Tsurenko overcooks it. The power by the Badosa there was just too big, and it's 15-40, and that means that it's 2 break point opportunities for Badosa. Now we can see there in terms of break points saved by Tsurenko's 3 out of 6, meaning that Badosa has already converted 50% of her break points, which is a good statistic. So can she convert? She has 2 opportunities here to break again and serve for the second set. Tsurenko serving. What's a poor serve? Overcooked. Second serve for Tsurenko. It was a slow serve in the middle of the box. Tsurenko now with a backhand to the backhand of Badosa. It goes down the line. Tsurenko now with the forehand down the line. Badosa going cross-court with a backhand. Badosa overcooks it. And it's a break point saved by Tsurenko. 1 break point saved. Another break point to save after this. Or from a Badosa perspective, couldn't convert on that one, but she has another opportunity to convert a break point over here. Tsurenko serving at 30-40. She serves to the backhand of Badosa. It's a fault, second serve. To the backhand of Badosa. Tsurenko now with the backhand to the backhand of Badosa again as they hit it in the middle of the court. Who's going to go for the down the line? Badosa tries to go down the line, but it's wide. It's wide, and that means that Tsurenko just saved 2 break points, and I would say crucial for Tsurenko's perspective to save those break points, and we are back to deuce. What's going to happen? We don't know. That's the beauty of sport. There's no script. Tsurenko serving at deuce. And the ball toss is once again an issue. Is it the sun or the wind? I think it's a combination of both. And she serves, very slow serve to the forehand of Badosa. And now Badosa with the backhand. Tsurenko stepping in, trying to go for the forehand winner, but it goes wide. And this means it's another break points opportunity for Badosa. Can she capitalize on this one? I really feel like Tsurenko should add some RPMs and pace on that serve of hers. It's slow, it's safe, it's in the middle of the box. And from Badosa's perspective, I really think she needs to step in. And it's a fault. Second serve. Oh, yeah, you can see the wind just took the ball to a completely different direction there. It is tricky. I shouldn't be too harsh on the service games with a wind like this. She tries to go for the toss again. Oh, and it's a double fault. That's a double fault. That's unfortunate. I mean, whether you're a Badosa or Tsurenko fan, you don't want to see it happen like that. Badosa, therefore, leads 6-5, and she will be serving for the second set. Deja vu, I've said that very recently.
Vamos! He was a tennis virtuosa. She gonna show ya. Hey, vamos! He was a tennis virtuosa. She gonna show ya. It's Paula BADOSA.
It is Badosa, and she is going to serve for the second set, as she did 2 games ago, where she was not able to pull it through. I really think both of them are struggling to hold their serve in this windy atmosphere, and also maybe nerves playing a part here. Can Tsurenko maybe break back and force it to a tiebreak, or will Badosa serve this out and force it to a third set? We don't know. Well, stick with me and we will find out very soon. Thank you for joining me for this live coverage of Badosa versus Tsurenko. Please consider hitting the like button down below. Let's see whether we can get to 50 likes. We are on 45. 5 more likes and we get to that hallmark of 50 likes. Bruno, nice of you to join the Game to Love Tennis podcast. Who made that song is one of the founders of Game to Love, Ben, who made all the buttons for Game to Love. If you follow the other streams for the matches, you'll see that there's a lot of buttons for a lot of the players, or songs, if you would call it like that. For Tsurenko, there isn't one, maybe not being that well-known player, but for most of the players, there is a very, very nice song composed by one of the founders, Ben. And we have Tsurenko now trying to break back as she hits a big forehand now to the forehand of Badosa. Cross court. Now Tsurenko with a forehand again. Cross court to the forehand of Badosa. And it seems like what I'm picking up now is that Badosa is struggling with the ball, like keeping very low. She goes down to her knees and she's not able to generate enough like top spin or scoop enough to get the ball over the net. So it seems like the balls are staying too low for Badosa's play here. Let's see, Badosa now with the backhand to the forehand of Tsurenko. Badosa having to run, and she hits that forehand wide, and it's love 30. It's love 30. Can Tsurenko break back? I think she can. I really do think she can. Ames, you say you need to go for a nap before the Rafa match. I completely understand that. Good luck for you with a Rafa match. Now, I don't think you need it. I think it's going to be comfortable sailing, but let's try not to jinx it. But thank you for joining, Ames. I'll see you in the next stream again. I missed that point, but the crowd is cheering. Badosa took that point. It's 15-30. Yeah, so Camelia commenting on the controversy with the balls. There was a controversy regarding the weight. Yeah, so the controversy is that the women's and the men's are not using the same balls in this tournament, which is unusual, apparently. And the weight of the ball differs. I know there was a photo posted by someone. Oh, it clips the nets there by Tsurenko. Very, very lucky. She apologizes. Whether she means it or not, we'll never know. Probably not. But it clips the net and she passes Badosa that way. And that means that Tsurenko has 2 breakpoint opportunities. Can she convert one of them and force it to a tiebreak? That would be very interesting. Badosa serving. And we see both players really struggling to hold their serve throughout the set so far with all the wind going on. Fault, second serve. Second serve is to the backhand of Tsurenko. It's a forehand now by Badosa to the backhand of Tsurenko. But Tsurenko now with the backhand cross court. Who's going to take that ball down the line first? Nobody this far. Oh, they're sort of down the line over Badosa, but not a lot of angle. Badosa now with the forehand to the backhand of Tsurenko. Badosa now with the backhand. Oh, that's a beautiful backhand by Badosa. Oh, my word. The angle and the base, and she was able to go down to her knees and generate that backhand cross court for a winner. She saves 1 break point, 30-40. Oh, what talent. Yeah, so Mark is saying, and I agree that they won't change the ball mid-tournament. That would be even, in my opinion, more controversial than the controversy at this stage. Changing the ball mid-tournament will just be very unfair towards everybody. Badosa hitting it out. Badosa hits it out. Oh my goodness. That's like 4 breaks in a row. 4 breaks in a row. And that means that we're going to a tie break. Where's the button? Tie break. Tie break. Let's see who's going to take this one. Tell me in the chat, what is your prediction? Who's going to take this tie break and what is the score going to be? All right, Tsurenko serving first in this tiebreak. We saw both players really struggling with their serve in this match. Is it going to continue like this in the tiebreak? It clips the net by Badosa. Tsurenko stepping in. Badosa now with a cross-court forehand, but it's in the net by Badosa. And Tsurenko takes the first point on her serve. And it is 1 point to Tsurenko. And it's a bit of pressure here on Badosa on her serve. What is the score going to be? Tell me in the chat. What are your predictions? And while you're typing in your predictions, hit the like button on that video. And let's see whether this is the middle or the end of this match. Beauty of tennis scoring system, right? Oh, that's good wrong footing there by Badosa. She steps in and she hits a forehand down the line by Badosa. Makes a statement. And it's 1 point all. Badosa versus Tsurenko. Marcus supporting Badosa in this tiebreak. Oh, it's a shank by Badosa. Shank by Badosa, which goes long, and that means that's a mini break for Tsurenko. Beautiful opportunity here for Tsurenko to capitalize on the shank there by Badosa. All right, let's see. Badosa, Tsurenko serving 2-1. Fault. Pressure. Which is also a song by Muse, a very good song. If you're a Muse fan, tell me in the chat, what do you think of the new album? I love it. Tsurenko serving 2-1. She serves to the forehand of Badosa. It's a slow serve. It's a good return there by Badosa, and she takes the mini break back. And it's 2-2. That's way too safe serving there by Tsurenko. Not a lot of pace, not a lot of angle. 2-2. Tsurenko really needs to hold this point if she wants to take this match. From Badosa's perspective, I think she needs to anticipate there's going to be a slow serve. Step in and hit that hard return. Tsurenko serving to the forehand of Badosa. Tsurenko now with the forehand in the middle of the court. Tsurenko tries to go for a forehand cross-court, but it goes wide. And it's 2 points won by Badosa on the service game of Tsurenko in this tiebreak, which means she now has a mini break. She was behind a mini break. Now she has a mini break. She's serving at 3-2 in this tiebreak. She serves a fault. All right, let's see. Tsurenko serving cross-court to Tsurenko. And now Tsurenko's doing a lot of running. Badosa has to step in. Tsurenko's going to pass. She goes for the lob, but it's a terrible lob. And Badosa's able to smash that away for a winner at the net. And she leads this tiebreak 4-2. And they will change over. Badosa comfortably taking control of this tiebreak. And it looks like we're going to a third setter. And the crowd is cheering. Badosa. Badosa. I must say, 3 syllables isn't that nice as a cheering mechanism, but they are trying. Kamala saying Badosa should win, but why is Lesia giving us so much trouble? Both players are really struggling with their serve in this windy condition. We've seen a lot of breaks. I think that's the big issue. And I also think with Badosa, it seems like when the ball is staying very low, it's really troubling for her style of play. 4 points to 2 for Badosa. And my voice is not gonna make it. Badosa serving. And the ball toss is an issue once again. Very windy. It's a fault. Ball toss is an issue again. Which I wonder, like in that windy condition, you then need to make your ball toss lower. Which is easier said than done. Oh, it's a good return there by Tsurenko, but I think she was aided by the wind, as they are now trying to do something with this rally, which is so affected by the wind here. Now we have Badosa going for a cross-court backhand to the backhand of Tsurenko, overcooks it, and it's a point to Badosa, and she now comfortably leads this tiebreak 5-2. And the crowd loves it. Gary is saying the Venus is really fighting and tennis outfit is so much better than her sister. So I haven't seen it. It will be interesting to see. Kamala saying in New York, not that windy. It's interesting because on the court there, it's definitely very windy. Let's see, Tsurenko now with a forehand in the middle of the court. Badosa goes to her knees and she's able to get the ball over. And it's another point by Badosa. How many points in a row is that now? It's now 6-2 and it was 2-1 for Tsurenko. It was 2-1 Tsurenko. It's now 6-2, meaning that Badosa has now won 5 points in a row. And it's set points for Badosa. Tsurenko serving to the backhand of Badosa. And the return is long there by Badosa. 1 set point saved by Tsurenko. And you can clearly hear that the crowd is behind Badosa. They wanted to go to a third set. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Set points now for Badosa on her racket, serving. That's a fault. Second serve. And she's struggling with the service toss again. She's going to try again. Badosa with the forehand to the forehand of Tsurenko, who gets it over the net. Tsurenko now to the backhand of Badosa, goes for a big backhand cross the line, but Tsurenko's holding in. And now Tsurenko with a backhand to the backhand of Badosa. It's it long. And that's a brilliant play there by Tsurenko, holding in that rally. And it's another set point saved. Are we in for a surprise here? Surely not. Surely not. Badosa had now so many opportunities to close out the set. But Tsurenko is holding in. She's holding out there. 6-4. Another set points opportunity for Badosa, though, on a serve. Let's see whether Badosa can convert this third set point opportunity. It is tricky serving conditions over there as she serves. And the return by Tsurenko goes long. The return by Tsurenko goes long. And it's second set to Badosa. It's 1 set all. And we still have another set to go. Brilliant play there by Badosa in the tiebreak at the end. She takes that set 7-6. Well done to Badosa. And we are at 1 game all. Stick with me for the remainder of the match and we'll see who is going to take it in the third set of this match. I'm just quickly going to get a water because my voice is gone. But don't go away. I'll be back with you very, very shortly. And while I'm gone, please maybe just quickly, you see there below, there's a like button. Very, very nice, very fresh. Go and click that like button if you haven't yet. Let's see, maybe we can even get to 100 likes on this video. See you now for the third set between Badosa and Tsurenko.
Tennis superstar Novak Djokovic is officially out of the US Open.
Novak Djokovic has come out and he has announced that he will not be playing the US Open.
Sasha Zverev has withdrawn from this year's US Open.
Serena Williams, she is announcing her retirement from tennis after the US Open, obviously her home tournament.
I think that her legacy is really wide to the point where you can't even describe it in words. I think I'm a product of what she's done. I wouldn't be here without Serena Venus. I'm very thankful to her.
A lot of other players in the field, you know, have the belief like I can do that too. I think what we achieve shows that, you know, anything can happen really.
It's time!
First thing I did when I got home from work is I changed to the Rafa hat, the Rafa top,
Emma Raducanu.
and she's just beaten Serena Williams and Azarenka. This is the biggest talking point. Nick Kyrgios on the same section as Daniel Medvedev. Who do you think is going to win the US Open this year? He answered Carlos Alcaraz. I mean, it's still the young guns. Rafa has got a nice draw. Serena Williams, she's drawn Danka, Kovinic,
Terrible.
I'm a massive Layla fan.
Garcia is incredible. I put a bet on Garcia to win the US Open.
Pegula, Layla Fernandez. I'm going to go Layla Annie Fernandez. going to win. Rafael Nadal is going to win the US Open this year.
Rafael Nadal comes back from the depths yet again.
We've both gone for the same guy. I've got Linda, you've got Linda.
Nadal has to be considered a favorite.
Rafa for 23. Let's go, Ben. Come on.
And we are back. And as you can probably hear, my voice is struggling. I should probably try to calm down, but it's so difficult with the high level of play we are seeing in this matchup and all the drama and the ebbs and flows. This person is leading and then that person is leading. Insane. They haven't started yet with the set. Let's see what's happening around the grounds at the US Open. So Goffin took the first set against Musetti. And we have Ramos Vinolas leading against Gombos. Sinner lost the first set against Altmaier. And currently it's 2-games all in the second set. Chorik, tiebreak over there. Interesting. And he's now having a set point on his serve. Let's see whether he can get that point. Quite a tight tiebreak, it seems like there at the second set. I think we all want Chorik to do well in this tournament, all right? I don't think there's a single person that doesn't want him to do well. Unless, obviously, he gets to the stage where he needs to face a Rafa. Then, obviously, a lot of Rafa supporters would not like him going further than that. Cilic, 3-games all. And Chorik is able to take that set. Well done. He takes the tiebreak 7-5 in the second set. So he's up 2-0 in that matchup. Kecmanovic was able to take his match against Teen. So he's on point. Jer is serving for the fourth set against Rublev at 5-4. Let's keep an eye on that one. I called the upset for Rublev, and then when Rublev led 2-0, I was like, okay, now clearly I was wrong. But maybe I'm not. We could still see an upset there for Rublev, who's really been in very, very poor form the past couple of matches. We have Brooksby against Lajovic. He's currently leading there. Manarino started already against Brewer as well from the Netherlands. Okay, Camilla going to Hubie Hurkacz. Okay, so yeah, I didn't actually know whether Game to Love is broadcasting that. Oh, or do you mean like at the venue? As I see, you did say that you're American. Let's see what are other Game to Love streams at this stage. So it's been 6 minutes since the last point as we were waiting for the players to get back to where they were. Oh, a lot of people are watching the Serena Williams match. 261 people over there. And then it seems like also the Sinner match is being covered by Game to Love. Interesting. And the players will start now with the third set. Badosa. And I think everybody would probably feel like Badosa now is in control of this match. And I see it's a break point there for Van Uitvank against Serena Williams. So it seems like Venus is going to bow out, but she's still in the doubles with Serena. And Badosa starts to serve, and it's a nice and easy, comfortable start at 15 love. And it's a fault second serve for Badosa. And she serves to the backhand of Tsurenko. And it's a big forehand now by Badosa. She's stepping in, and she is that for a winner, and it's 30 love. And it's a fault there by Badosa. So the first serve, points 1, is 49% for Badosa and 56% for Tsurenko, which is not good. Both players are really struggling on the serve today. But it's 40 love for Badosa. Very, very comfortable start thus far to the third set. As she serves a fault second serve. She serves to the backhand of Tsurenko, who hits the return long. And not only is this a game, but it's a game to love for Paula Badosa. So, yeah, it seems like Badosa is in full control of this match. Can she keep on going and take this match?
Vamos! He was a tennis that Josa. She gonna show ya. Hey, vamos! He was a tennis that Josa. She gonna show ya. It's Paula BADOSA.
All right, Gary saying he's gonna leave us at the stage. Thank you for joining, Gary. I'll see you in a future stream once again, and enjoy the Rafa and Raducanu match later on tonight. The unreturned there by Badosa, and it's 15 love to Tsurenko. We are on 49 likes. We need one more. One more. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you, the one person that hasn't placed the like yet. Come on, let's do it. Let's get to 50 and celebrate that marvelous victory together. And it's in the net by Badosa, and it's 30 love. Oh, it's a great return there by Badosa. Tsurenko not able to handle that pace, and it's 30-15. Tsurenko serving, and it's unreturned there by Badosa, and it's 40-15. And you can feel like the crowd, like the energy is a bit lost. Neither player really playing very well. It's just errors, range of errors at this stage. And it's a fault by Tsurenko. And there's a hold there by Tsurenko, and it's one game all in this third set. Are we going the distance again to a tiebreak? Well, one thing's for sure, we're going to have a lot of breaks in this third set, looking at how it went in the first and second set. It's a serve by Badosa to the forehand of Tsurenko. Tsurenko stepping in with a drop shot, but Badosa is there. Tsurenko going for the pass. It's a beautiful pass. Wow. Magnificent pass there by Tsurenko. Badosa was required to go and approach the net with a drop shot attempt by Tsurenko. And that means it's love 15. Badosa serving to the forehand of Tsurenko. Tsurenko now the forehand to the forehand of Badosa. Goes cross court into the forehand of Tsurenko. Tsurenko now with the backhand to the backhand of Badosa. And Tsurenko goes for a short backhand. Badosa now at the net. And the volley clips the net. Tsurenko, oh, that's a poor passing shot attempt there by Tsurenko, I must say. The volley by Badosa went clipped the net. And Tsurenko went in, but then overcooked her forehand, trying to pass Badosa, and it's 15-all. As the match just surpassed 2 hours long, which is quite a long match for a women's best out of 3. And a cross court there by Tsurenko. And it's a backhand winner down the line by Badosa. That's more how I like it. Some winners. And it's 30-15. Badosa serving at 30-15. A fault second service. And she serves the backhand of Tsurenko. Tsurenko now with the backhand to the backhand of Badosa. So they are just exchanging backhands. Who's going to take the first initiative? Big forehand there by Badosa, but it's a great response there by Tsurenko. He's really playing aggressive and deep balls. Now Badosa forced to run. She hits a forehand down the line. Ooh, that's a strange. Was that a shank by Badosa? I don't know what that was, but it was not even close to the court. I think she maybe hit it in a different court. And it's 30-all. And there's a bit of pressure here under Badosa. Well, let's see whether Badosa can, as is the case with Freddie Mercury, perform under pressure. It's all right. It's all right. Badosa serving at 30-all. Oh, it's a shank there by Tsurenko. That return does not go over the net. And it's 40-30 to Badosa. (40-30). Badosa serving. 1 game all in the third set. That's a great serve. That's a great serve there by Badosa. Down the tee. Unreturned by Tsurenko. And Badosa holds. And it's 2-1 for the Spaniard. Well done, Badosa.
Vamos! He was a tennis that Josa. She gonna show ya. Hey, vamos! He was a tennis that Josa. She gonna show ya. It's Paula BADOSA.
It's Paula BADOSA. It is. I can confirm it is her. I can see on the screen. That is the person over there. Jared, nice to have you in the chat. I can't recall any prominent women's tennis players from South Africa. Currently, no. We once did check, and it was someone I haven't seen before, and I think she's like ranked 1,000th or something. So no, currently there aren't any. So yesterday, I was watching the Game to Love stream for Dominic Thiem versus Corinna Busta. And as we all be regulars, we know that Jabeur, Ons Jabeur has the song, it's her, it's her, it's her. Talking about Ons Jabeur, Jabeur, Jabeur. And then I thought, like, It would be cool if for Dominic Thiem the song was like, it's him, it's him, it's him. Talking about Dominic Thiem, you know. But it was not to be. But it's still a cool song he has. It's quite a long track that he has for his button. As Tsurenko is serving at 1-2, and it's a fault. Jared, what's the worst and the best buttons for Game to Love? That's a good question. I would say the best is obviously TFO. Very, very good vocal performance there on the button of TFO. The worst is probably Zapata Morales. I don't know if you heard that one before. It's like, oh, that's the shot there in the net by Badosa. The Zapata Morales is like, Zapata Morales. Zapata Morales. Very dreamy. It's not like really pumping you up for a great match. I like it. It's good. The fact that I can remember it, but yeah, it's probably not like one that will really get you up pumped for a match. Worst button is Sinner. I actually agree. The worst button is Sinner. Yeah, it's not great. I agree. Gervais. But, oh, you like Medvedev's button. Interesting. Not my favorite. It's not bad for me. Not my favorite, as it doesn't have any like lyrics that makes it funny or anything. Azarenka button is not great either, I believe. Okay, I haven't heard it before, I think. Chapeau. I also like Chapeau's is cool, and also similar to Chapeau's is Kyrios. Like King Kyrios. King Kyrios. I like that one because and his as well as Chapeau's, it's like it suits their personalities, which I think is quite cool. Okay, this thing Sinner and Medvedev is great, but yeah, Francis TFO's is the best by far. I mean, it's not even a question. It seems like Tsurenko is struggling with a hand injury or something over there. Let's just see what's happening over there. I'm not sure. Oh, and it's long there by Tsurenko. 15-all, 2-1. You can't really do much with the names of Pata Morales. I think like it's one of those ones where Ben did it like just before the match, where he played Zverev in the French Open. But yeah, probably also not a button that you're really gonna use very often. And then I like Holger Rune's one. Holger Rune. Very catchy. Backhand exchange by the two players on court 17. Now we have the forehand. Oh, wow, by Tsurenko, but it's in the middle of the court. And she hits it in the net. Is she struggling with her hand? It seems like it. She's like looking at her fingers and moving. So she's either having a hand injury, or she's like counting the score line, or she's like summoning the urn of the Undertaker. I'm not sure. 15-30. It's a very slow serve, but effective as Badosa hits that return long. And it's 30-all. Tsurenko serving at 30-all. And she stops before she can execute the serve. Execute order 66. As she serves a fault. I would really like to know the service speed by Tsurenko, if anyone can somehow get that stat, because I really feel like she's been serving very, very slow throughout this match. She serves to the forehand of Badosa, and Badosa is not able to return that ball back. And I also feel like Badosa is not really capitalizing on these slow serves. She really needs to step in and hit the returns for winners with the service speed I'm seeing. Maybe I'm seeing incorrectly, but that's the feeling I get. 40-30. And Badosa is returning it safely into the forehand of Tsurenko. Badosa now with a backhand to the backhand of Tsurenko, goes for the backhand down the line. Tsurenko stepping in with a forehand. And Badosa is not able to handle that power. And Tsurenko holds. And it's 2 games all in this third and final set. Neil, nice of you in the chat. I was worried for your US Open tip of Sloane Stevens earlier, but she pulled through in the end. Who do you have got for the men's? Not Steph, the bathroom baking, I hope. No. So for the women, I have Sloane Stevens in the final. Oh, you mean earlier this match that you heard me saying, or in the previous tournament? Because in Cincinnati, I told everybody I have Sloane Stevens winning the tournament. As I did the draw on the TNNS app, I changed my mind. Not completely. I still know she's making the final. But she's going to lose against Madison Keys in the final. So it's a repeat of the 2017 final. Going to have Sloane Stevens against Madison Keys, and Keys is going to pull it through. And then on the men's side, we're in for a very big surprise. Grigor Dimitrov is going to win the trophy this year. And he's going to play Matteo Berrettini in the final there. So it's a Berrettini and Dimitrov final. And Dimitrov is going to pull it through and lift the US Open trophy, his first Grand Slam. And it's going to be at this stage. Yeah, so it's quite an upset, but I'm confident that is exactly what's going to happen. I assume you all have the same thoughts. Yeah, so you say you thought I had Sloane to win the US Open. Yeah, I did say that in the Cincinnati. And then unfortunately I had to track back a little bit. But I still have her making the final. But unfortunately, Madison Keys is going to get revenge on that 27 final. So I changed my mind, and I know you can't change your mind too often, but I mean, at least it was before this tournament started. So that's what I have. Yeah, so it changes slightly. Keys plays well with these balls they use in Cincinnati. Yeah, she did very well in the first round match. Dimitrov, yeah, I assume you have the same? Surely Dimitrov is by everybody considered the favorite. So my rationale behind that is Jared's saying there's a play on the challenger level named Kitipong Wachiramano. Are you serious? I'm gonna Google this just to make sure that you're telling me the truth here. Kitipong. Well, there's a Thai footballer, Kitipong Putawachue. Oh, yeah, you're right. Kitipong Wichara. How old is he? 32. Yeah, okay, so it's very unlikely that he's suddenly gonna, break through. But yeah, that would be a very interesting button. I feel like we should have a Game to Love stream for one of his challenger matches just for that purpose. Neil saying JG changes his pick after the first few games of the match. Lol. Ooh, and Tsurenko's really struggling with her hands. She's once again dropping the racket, and she's doing this, playing piano in the air. But I don't think it's that. I think it's actually an injury that her hands is there's something wrong with her fingers. Ooh, it's an ace. It's an ace by Badosa. Second ace of this match. And that's advantage to Badosa. And she's serving on advantage. That's asking who is doing the rougher match, please, on this channel. That will be JG. JG, one of the founders of this channel, and he's a massive rougher fan. So whenever there is a rougher match, you can be sure that JG will be covering it later today. And Badosa is able to hold, and she leads 3-2. Let's just keep an eye on this hand injury by Tsurenko that she's got seemingly having. No talks of retirement yet. And the physio is out. Now, this is going to be interesting because what can you do with fingers? I mean, I'm not a physio or a doctor by any means, but I don't think there are a lot of muscle inside your fingers. So it's not like you can really I might be completely wrong. So let's not try and make medical comments on a topic that I'm not familiar with. Or is she working on a leg? Can't see clearly. Neil saying maybe it's a psychological coaching thing. When you play bad, imagine you're playing Chopin. That's an interesting strategy. I will try that next time. Okay, now she's rubbing her arm. The physio's out reminds me of the last stream I saw of yours, Murray Stan. Yeah, that was insane. I mean, it was every changeover. Both Murray and Wawrinka had physios just working on their expired bodies. All right, Tsurenko is now going to serve at 2-3. So I guess with like everything being connected, maybe by like physioing or massaging the arm, it actually affects your fingers as well as like the, I don't know, the energy is moving towards a point. I don't know. Forehand by Tsurenko in the net. And it's love 15. No. Yes, it is. Do you like my cup? It's Star Wars. Any Star Wars fans in the chat? Are you excited for Mandalorian Season 3? Badosa with a backhand to the backhand of Tsurenko. Tsurenko now with a forehand cross court to the forehand of Badosa, goes to her knees to get down low. Now a backhand by Badosa, which is too big for Tsurenko to handle. And it's love 30. And it's a window of opportunity for Badosa. Yes, so Kathy, yes, JG did confirm that he will do the rougher match, as is protocol. I'll have enough experience for a medical degree after a few more months on this channel, covering all the medical timeouts and describing the treatments. The thing is, I'm very unprofessional in the sense that I just play a guessing game over here of what's going on, which is quite dangerous on the YouTube, as people could and should not at all consider it medical advice. Ooh! What a return there by Badosa! What a return winner down the line! Oh, wow. And I'm going to repeat the same joke. Badosa should open a bank or start a bank because the returns she's offering is amazing. Ha 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 ha. If you like that joke for some reason, hit the like button on this video. How many likes do we have currently? Oh, we have 54. All right. Ooh, she's really struggling, Tsurenko. She needs to play a bit of Chopin. Love 40. And it's a fault. I don't think she's going to finish. And Badosa breaks, but it's silence. And now her leg is giving problems as well. She's stretching her leg. So Badosa broke, but there's like no response by the crowd whatsoever. Because people are, I guess, like concerned about this injury or injuries, several that Tsurenko is suddenly having. I'm not saying she's faking it. It could be like, maybe it's like one injury where it like affects your whole body. I guess that's possible. Badosa serves to the backhand of Tsurenko. Tsurenko hold again. I mean, she's not retiring. Backhand, which she overcooks. But like everything is a problem now. Her fingers, her arm. She's now walking oddly. You're saying Ben and JG needs to add a disclaimer at the start of the videos. Our hosts are not giving expert medical advice and should not be relied. Definitely not, yeah. Oh, Slow Anne is finding my lack of faith disturbing. Well, I think giving a spot in the final is quite generous, I would say. Very, very generous. And it's out there by Badosa, 3015. I was trying to make a quote, something about generous in Star Wars, but I don't think generous is mentioned anywhere. Just forgiving. The Emperor is not as forgiving as I am. Darth Vader tells a general, and I can't remember which general. I should know this. In Return of the Jedi. 4015 by Badosa. And she's now, Tsurenko dropping a racket and now holding her hands, making ready for a nice concerto there. And now she's apologizing. Oh, get to see Venus in a tiebreak. That's interesting. I guess it's electrifying atmosphere over there. Ooh, and that's long by Badosa. Now, from a Badosa perspective, I think you need to stay calm and not really let the injury of the opponent or injuries, seems, of the opponent not like make you forget about your game plan and still just continue focusing and playing your best tennis, because we've seen it so often in sports where the opponent has an injury and suddenly the person that doesn't have the injury is struggling and lacking focus. Badosa serving a double fault. And that's exactly what I'm saying. Focus, focus, focus. Don't think, okay, injury, this match is done. It's not done. It's not done. Cramping. Yeah, that's highly possible. As I say, my medical skills isn't of the highest quality. But I guess that's possible. But it seems like, is it possible that a cramp can like affect your whole body? Because like she's limping on a knee, on legs, but then also her fingers and also her arm. Yes, and there is a quote from Darth Vader to the general. I'm just so his lack of faith was justified. But oh, you mean the first one? Yeah. That was a general. Yeah, his lack of faith disturbing is a very, very famous one, but I can't remember the name of that general either. But I know exactly like how it looks. Your hokey religion will not save us, he says, the general to Vader. Advantage to Badosa. And I always find it interesting in episode 4, like the generals are very like, they have an attitude against Vader in episode 4, which is interesting to see. It's not really consistent with the Vader personality in the other movies. And Tsurenko is now hitting a forehand to the backhand of Badosa. Now a cross-court backhand by Tsurenko. Tsurenko stepping in with a nice deep forehand. Again, cross-court forehand. And now Badosa with a massive forehand. And she's stepping in. Is she going to hit this for a winner? Yes, she does. It's a backhand winner by Badosa. And she holds. And she leads 5-2. Only one game away from taking this match. Let's hope that the injury of Tsurenko will not end this sooner. The physio is out to work her magic. Let's see what happens. Maybe in the final game of this match. Badosa leaving 5-2.
Vamos! He was a tennis virtuosa. She gonna show ya. Hey, vamos! He was a tennis virtuosa. She gonna show ya. It's Paula BADOSA.
And the physio is now at Tsurenko, massaging the arm. So Katie's saying that cramps attacks muscles. They're not specific to particular muscles. So if you have a cramp, does it mean then that it affects all of them? Or is it like random? But yeah, it's interesting that the physio is massaging the arms, despite Tsurenko like struggling to walk on a legs, and also like going like this with her fingers. And then the physio is like, I'm gonna focus on the arm. Now, I'm not suggesting that she's doing it wrong. She obviously knows much more than me. It's just an interesting observation that she decides to massage the arm while there are like 7 other body parts that Tsurenko is having trouble with. Your hokey religion will not save us. And then with my favorite Darth Vader quote is actually where he says, the ability to destroy a planet is insignificant to the power of the Force. Oh, that's the best one. Usually caused by dehydration. Yeah, I heard that before. Like, I remember my biggest memory from cramps watching sport is, I don't know if there are any cricket fans in the chat, but there was a cricket match, South Africa versus India, and Graeme Smith had a massive cramp. And then what was quite unfortunate, they don't regard it as an injury. So he was not allowed to get a runner for him. So he had to like keep on playing while having this cramp. And then obviously that famous Medvedev match where he somehow still won. He was not able to walk at all. I can't remember who his opponent was, but like his opponent just didn't capitalize on the opportunity in any way whatsoever. He just hit the ball in the middle of the court. Medvedev was not required to move at all. And luckily, because he wasn't able to. All right, so Tsurenko serving to stay in this match. Second serve fault. Or fault now. It's second serve. That's 15 all. And the return is in the net by Badosa as 30-15. Neil saying she needs you on there to tell the doctors what to do. That will be very, very dangerous. Okay, Elan saying Venus is out. Breaking news on Game to Love. Venus Williams is out of the US Open. I see some people are now joining us from the other chat. Welcome as we are watching Badosa, 1 game away from taking this match. Tsurenko is struggling with an injury. Kathy suggests it's a cramp in her fingers. And it's 40-15 for Tsurenko. Can she hold this service game at least? And then Badosa will be serving for the match. Gene, welcome back. Graeme Smith was a real limpet at the crease, like Mike Atherton back in the day for England. I don't know what a limpet is. Joe Root had cramps in India too, though it may have been Delhi Belly. Ooh, and yeah, the cramps, you can see there, she's holding her fingers, ready to play that nice concerto for us on the piano. Let's see. And now Badosa will be serving for this match. Can she do it? Well, we're going to find out very, very soon. We are on 56 likes for those of us joining us now. Please consider hitting that like button on this video and let's see whether Badosa can serve this out. I think she will. I really think she will. I think Tsurenko is struggling with a injury, whatever that may be. But we've seen both players struggling with their serve today, so it's possible that we can see another break. As Badosa serves to the backhand of Tsurenko. Badosa hits that long. As love 15, are we in for some more drama on court 17 at the US Open? Love 15, Badosa serving. To the forehand of Tsurenko. Tsurenko in control of this rally. Badosa now with the backhand to the forehand of Tsurenko, who goes down the line. So Badosa now with the forehand to the forehand of Tsurenko. Tsurenko now with the forehand again to the backhand of Badosa. Tsurenko now with the forehand down the line. It's too good. It's too good by Tsurenko. Badosa was not even close to that ball. Well done there by Tsurenko. And it is love 30. And she looks to her hand. Well, she's playing well. Love 30. Are we in for another surprise? Are we in for the greatest match in tennis history? Probably not. But you never know. This could go on for hours still. Oh, no, it will go to a tiebreak. All right, let's see. Ooh, that's a good return there by Tsurenko. Nice and deep. Badosa now with the backhand to the forehand of Tsurenko. Tsurenko now with the forehand to the forehand of Badosa, stepping in with a nice cross-court forehand. But, Tsurenko is not able to handle that ball. And it's 15-30 as Tsurenko hits that ball long. Tsurenko is fighting. She is indeed. Oh, Eugene's saying this is a fake injury. It's possible. I'm not excluding that possibility, but yeah, I will not. Probably. Oh, wow. What a backhand there by Badosa. And it's 30 all. And that return by Tsurenko is long as well. And that means that it's match point for Badosa. Match point. Can she convert? Where is the match point button? I'm going to miss it. Okay.
Match point.
And it's a return by Tsurenko. Now Tsurenko with the forehand to the forehand of Badosa, who goes to the backhand of Tsurenko. And it's in by Tsurenko there. Tsurenko stepping in with a backhand cross-court, which goes long. And Badosa takes the match after dropping the first set and being behind so many times throughout this match. She takes it in the end. And now Tsurenko is limping like never before to the umpire. And Badosa takes the victory. We were maybe in for an upset, but Badosa is not today. Maybe another round, but today she is the victory in 3 sets. Well done. A match 2 hours and 31 minutes. In the end, Badosa takes it. The Spanish.
Vamos! He was a tennis that she gonna show ya. She gonna show ya. It's Paula BADOSA.
And I can confirm it is Paula BADOSA who won this match. Who will her next opponent be in the US Open? It's too far to go and have a look right now. But she is through to the second round of the US Open. Well, it doesn't really matter because we all know that what the final is going to be. The final is going to be Sloane Stephens versus Madison Keys. And Madison Keys is going to take that final. In the men's side, it's going to be Grigor Dimitrov against Matteo Berrettini. And Dimitrov is going to take that match and clinch his first Grand Slam title. But for now, the focus is on Paula BADOSA. And she is through to the next round. Interesting. Okay, Kathy. I assume this is the next... Oh, no, it's gone. I thought this is maybe the next matches for Badosa, but I don't think Sharapova is playing in this tournament. Gina, am I joking? No, I'm not. I'm very serious. I have in my fantasy bracket, I have Dimitrov and Berrettini. And for the women's, I have Sloane Stephens versus Madison Keys. What's going to happen is Sloane Stephens is going to beat Iga in the second round, and then she takes on the first seed draw from there going on. And a nice draw, and she's going to dominate. Then we're going to have a rematch of the 2017 final, and Keys is going to take it. And then on the men's side, what's going to happen is Shapo is going to knock out Rafa. And then we're going to have a draw over there. Berrettini is going to do very well. But then Grigor Dimitrov is just going to be too much for Berrettini in the final. Interesting predictions. You mean accurate? It's not predictions, really. It's more like confirmations, really, before it happens. That's going to be the results. All right. Let's see. Okay, thank you very much for everyone that joins me in this coverage for Badosa. I will see all of you again in a future stream. When exactly that would be, I'm not sure. But until then, stay classy, San Diego, and I'll see you again. Okay, so Neil says you have Rafa beat Nori in an epic quarterfinal and then lose to Shapo. No, I think he faces Shapo before that. Doesn't he? Let's see quickly. US Open draw. I think he faces Chapo before the semi-final. I need the Wikipedia. That's the easiest way to do this. 20. Where do I get the 2022 Wikipedia? Okay, so here we go. Where do we go to 2022? Okay, I'm going to say US Open 2022 Wiki. Let's go over there. And the draw should be at the bottom. Where's the draw? Okay, then we need to go to the men's. And where's the men's page? I'll do it. Here we go. Men's singles. All right. Here we have the draw. So where is Chapo? Here is Chapo. It's in section 7. Yeah, no, so it's gonna be Chapo versus Nadal instead of Nori. So it's not gonna be Nori Nadal quarterfinal, it's gonna be Chapo Nadal quarterfinal because Chapo is gonna beat. Well, what's happening in the Rublev match? Now we're talking about it. Oh, Rublev won in the end in 5 sets. Okay. So Chapo is gonna beat Rublev, and Chapo is then gone in the I can't think now. So he's going to beat Husler in the first round, Chapo, and then he's going to beat Munar in the second round, and then in the third round he's going to beat Rublev, and in the fourth round he's going to beat Nori, Chapo, and then he's going to beat Nadal in the quarterfinals. So then the semifinals is going to be Chapo versus Berrettini, and Dimitrov versus. I can't access my draw now, but I'm trying to go on memory here. Who did I have as the other semi-finalist? I can't remember now. Oh, well. We'll have a look at it next time again. Let's see just here in the chat what's going on. So he beats Nori out. So it's going to be Chapo is beating Nori. All right. Beat Rublev, Nori, and then Rafa. Yes, correct. If he does that, I hope he wins the 20 as he will deserve it. Yeah, he's not going to win. Dimitrov is going to win that one. So much confidence. Well, the thing is, confidence is when there is some uncertainty related to something in the future. In this case, there's no uncertainty. It's like, okay, so it's not confidence. It's just knowing. Yeah. All right, so thank you everybody for joining me. If you have not yet, please leave the like button on this video. And I'll see you again in a future stream, maybe in the final for Dimitrov versus Berrettini. But probably before that. All right, thank you everybody. Hope you enjoy the rest of your evening and the remainder of the coverage of the US Open by Game to Love. And I'll see you again in the next stream. Until then, good night.